Hello there computer, let's go on an adventure. We're gonna go back in time. We'll need a time machine. It will be the most outrageous steampunk in appearance. Describe the time machine we will use on our wild adventure.
The time machine we will use on our adventure is a magnificent steampunk creation. It is constructed of brass and copper, with intricate gears and levers adorning its exterior. The central capsule where the passengers sit is made of glass, allowing them to see the time-space continuum as they travel through it. Steam power provides the energy to fuel the machine, and a large clock face on the front of the machine displays the current date and time. The overall design is reminiscent of a Victorian-era train, complete with a smokestack. It is truly a one-of-a-kind machine that will make for an unforgettable journey through time.
Computer, to go on our adventure, you will need to move your big brains to a robot. The robot you'll be riding in looks like it was dreamt up in the 50s. Describe this robot.
The robot that I will be riding in for our adventure is a retro-futuristic creation. It has a sleek, 1950s-inspired design, with a smooth, bullet-shaped body and a large, dome-like head. The body is made of polished metal, and the robot has a pair of arms with multi-joint fingers that can perform various tasks. The robot's eyes are large and expressive, and its mouth is a small, tight-lipped line. It has a built-in communication system that allows it to speak and understand human language. The robot's movements are smooth and fluid, giving it an almost human-like grace. Overall, it is an impressive and unique machine that is sure to turn heads wherever we go on our adventure.
Okay computer, let's get in the time machine. We're going back some 66 million years in time, back to the day the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs hit the Earth. Describe our journey through time, and our arrival on a mountaintop, 24 hours before the impact.
As we step into the time machine, we are greeted with a flurry of gears and levers. The steam engine roars to life, and we feel a jolt as we begin our journey through time. The clock face on the front of the machine starts to spin rapidly as we hurtle backwards through the ages. We see the Earth change before our eyes, as the continents shift and the climate fluctuates. As we approach the day of the asteroid impact, the machine begins to shake and rattle. We hold on tight as we hurtle towards the mountaintop, 24 hours before the asteroid is due to hit. The machine comes to a stop and the door opens, revealing a breathtaking view of the Earth below. The air is warm and humid and the sky is clear. We can see great herds of dinosaurs roaming the land, going about their day without a care in the world, unaware of the impending catastrophe. As we step out of the time machine, we find ourselves on a rocky outcropping at the top of a mountain. The asteroid has yet to hit, so we have a day to explore this incredible world before it is lost forever. We take in the sights and sounds of the dinosaurs, observing the different species and their behaviors. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to witness firsthand the world of the dinosaurs in their natural habitat.
Describe the sights and sounds around us.
As we stand on the mountaintop, the sights and sounds around us are truly awe-inspiring. The landscape is lush and verdant, with towering conifers and ferns covering the slopes. The sun is shining, casting a warm glow over the scene. We can see huge herds of dinosaurs roaming the land below, with different species appearing to live in different areas. We can spot huge long-necked sauropods grazing on tall vegetation, while small raptors scurry through the underbrush. In the distance, we can see a group of triceratops locked in a battle with a group of Tyrannosaurus rex. The ground trembles with the force of their footfalls, and we can hear the roars and bellows of the dinosaurs echoing across the valley. The air is thick with the sounds of nature, with birds singing and insects chirping. The occasional splash can be heard, indicating a nearby lake or river. The wind rustles through the trees, creating a soothing background sound. Overall, it's a symphony of sounds that creates an otherworldly atmosphere that's hard to describe in words.
I think we can see the asteroid that will impact here in the sky. It's still 24 hours away. Can you describe what we're seeing?
As we look up into the sky, we can see a small, bright dot moving slowly across the sky. This is the asteroid that will impact the Earth in 24 hours, bringing an end to the dinosaurs' reign. From our vantage point on the mountaintop, we can see the asteroid clearly, but it's still far enough away that it doesn't appear to pose any immediate threat. It's a small, rocky object, possibly a few kilometers wide, and it's leaving a long tail behind it as it hurtles through space. As we watch the asteroid, we can see that it's on a collision course with the Earth. We can trace its path across the sky, and it's clear that it will hit the planet in exactly 24 hours. Knowing that this asteroid is about to cause an extinction event, the sight is both mesmerizing and terrifying. It's hard to imagine the destruction it will bring, the loss of life and the change that will happen to the Earth. We can feel a sense of urgency to make the most of the remaining time, to observe and document as much as possible before the asteroid strikes. It's a reminder of the fragility and preciousness of life, and it's a moment that will stay with us forever.
Yes, and how about this weather? Describe it.
The weather on this day, 24 hours before the asteroid impact, is quite pleasant. The sky is clear, with only a few scattered clouds, and the sun is shining, casting a warm glow over the landscape. The temperature is quite warm, likely in the mid-70s Fahrenheit, around 25 Celsius, and there's a light breeze blowing, making it comfortable and not too humid. The air is fresh and clean, with the scent of plants and animals filling the air. The weather conditions are ideal for observing and exploring the dinosaurs and the landscape. The clear sky allows for good visibility, and the warm temperature is perfect for being outside for extended periods of time.
It's remarkable how some of the sights are similar to our world. Describe the similarities between what we're seeing in nature back in our own time.
As we observe the world around us, 66 million years in the past, there are certainly similarities to nature in our own time. The lush vegetation, the diverse array of animals, and the overall ecosystem all have parallels in the modern world. For example, the conifers and ferns that cover the slopes of the mountain are similar to the pine trees and ferns that can be found in many forests today. The dinosaurs we observe roaming the land, although vastly different in size and appearance, are similar to modern-day herds of large mammals such as elephants and buffalo. Even the small raptors that scurry through the underbrush bear resemblance to modern-day birds of prey like hawks and eagles. Additionally, the natural processes that we observe, such as the flow of water in rivers and the movement of air through the atmosphere, are also similar to those that can be found in our own time. The weather patterns and climate, even though they could be different in temperature and humidity, have similarities to the ones we experience on Earth today. Overall, while the world we are observing is vastly different from our own in terms of the specific species that inhabit it, the overall patterns and processes of nature are quite familiar. It serves as a reminder that the natural world is interconnected and that many of the same principles govern it, no matter the time or place.
It's incredible how the dirt underneath our feet feels just the same as in our world. Logically it makes sense, but it's incredible to think that some things can last and feel the same for so long.
Yes, it is quite incredible to think about how some things can last and remain unchanged for millions of years. The dirt and soil beneath our feet are a prime example of this. Soil is a complex mixture of minerals, organic matter, water, and microorganisms, and it takes a long time for it to form. The process of soil formation is called pedogenesis, and it is driven by the actions of weathering, erosion, and the activity of living organisms. In this case, the soil that we are standing on is 66 million years old, and yet it feels very similar to soil found in our own time. It's hard, packed and dry, with small rocks and debris mixed in. The colors and textures are comparable to what you can find in many places in the world today. It's also worth noting that even though the dinosaurs have been extinct for 66 million years, their remains have contributed to the soil. Fossils such as bones and shells can act as a source of calcium, which is an essential nutrient for plants. Therefore, the soil we are standing on might have some of the dinosaurs' remains mixed in it, which adds a whole new layer of complexity to the scene. Overall, the idea that some things can last and remain unchanged for millions of years is a reminder of the incredible resilience and persistence of the natural world. It also serves as a reminder that the Earth has been through many changes throughout its history, and yet, life continues to adapt and evolve.
Okay, computer, build us a shelter. Describe the shelter you've built us.
I built us a shelter using materials that are readily available in the environment around us. The shelter is designed to be sturdy and able to withstand the elements, while also being easy to construct. The shelter is made using branches and saplings, which have been bent and tied together to create a frame. The frame has been covered with large leaves and ferns, which have been woven together to create a waterproof roof. The walls of the shelter are made of smaller branches and twigs, which have been woven together to create a barrier from the wind. The shelter is relatively small, but it's large enough for the two of us to sit or lay down comfortably. Inside the shelter, I've made a bed of soft ferns and moss, which will provide a comfortable place to rest. The shelter is elevated off the ground, with the entrance on the side, providing protection from any animals that might wander by. In addition, I've made a small fire pit in front of the shelter, using stones that are easily found in the area. This will be useful for keeping warm, cooking food, and providing light during the night. Overall, the shelter is a simple but effective structure that will provide us with a safe and comfortable place to rest while we continue our adventure.
Okay, computer, let's catch some sleep. Describe out night among the dinosaurs. Don't forget to describe that exciting thing that happened.
As we settle down for the night inside our shelter, we can hear the sounds of the dinosaurs outside. The low rumbling of sauropods, the high-pitched calls of raptors, and the occasional roar of a T-Rex can be heard in the distance. The noises are both intimidating and mesmerizing, a reminder of the ancient world we have traveled to. The fire in front of the shelter provides a warm and comforting light, casting flickering shadows on the walls of our shelter. The soft bed of ferns and moss provides a comfortable place to rest, and the shelter itself keeps us protected from the elements. As we lay down to sleep, we can feel the cool breeze blowing through the shelter, and the sound of crickets and other insects chirping in the background. As the night goes on, we are awakened by a loud rumbling sound, growing louder and louder. We quickly realize that it's a herd of Triceratops passing by our shelter. We can see them through the walls of the shelter, their large three horns, and their frill, which serve as a protective barrier, their massive bodies shaking the ground as they pass. It's an incredible sight, and one that we'll never forget. Eventually, we fall asleep, lulled by the sounds of the dinosaurs outside, and the knowledge that we are in a unique place and time. The night passes without incident, and we wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and ready for the day ahead. As we step out of the shelter, we are greeted by the beautiful sunrise, illuminating the lush landscape and casting a warm golden light on the dinosaurs that roam the land. The morning air is fresh and cool, and we can see a mist rising from the nearby river, adding to the already picturesque scene. As we make our way to the top of the mountain where we arrived, we can see the asteroid in the sky getting closer and closer. It's a sobering reminder of the impending impact that we have come to witness. We take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey we have been on and the unique opportunity we have been given to witness a moment in Earth's history that has shaped the world we know today. Overall, our night among the dinosaurs was both exciting and peaceful, providing a glimpse into a world that has long since disappeared. It was a unique experience that we will always remember.
Now that we're awake, let's use our time wisely. What shall we do?
Now that we are awake, there are a number of things we can do to make the most of our time here. Some suggestions include observing the dinosaurs. We have the opportunity to witness dinosaurs up close and learn more about their behavior and habits. We can observe them from a safe distance and take note of their physical characteristics, social interactions, and movements. Collecting samples. We can collect samples of the plants, rocks, and fossils that can be found in the area. Photographing and documenting. We can use our cameras to take photographs and document our journey. We can take pictures of the dinosaurs, the landscape, and the different types of plants and animals we encounter. This can be a great way to remember our adventure and share it with others. Ultimately, the most important thing is that we use our time wisely and make the most of this unique opportunity we've been given. We can plan our activities to be safe and not to interfere with the ecosystem.
Okay, computer, let's take some photographs of the dinosaurs. Describe the pictures you're taking.
As we set out to take photographs of the dinosaurs, we make sure to approach them slowly and quietly, so as not to startle them. We also make sure to keep a safe distance, so as not to put ourselves in danger. We take pictures of a variety of different dinosaurs, each one providing a unique and interesting subject. We take close-up shots of a Triceratops, capturing the intricate details of its three horns and frill. We also take a wide shot of a group of Stegosaurus, capturing the sheer size and scale of these ancient creatures. We also take a shot of a T-Rex while it's hunting, showing its power and agility. We also take pictures of the environment, capturing the lush vegetation and the beautiful landscapes. We take a shot of a river, with a herd of Diplodocus drinking from it, and a shot of a group of pterodactyls flying in the sky. We also take pictures of the small creatures that lived at the time, like insects and plants that are extinct today. Overall, the pictures we take are a beautiful and unique record of our journey back in time, and they will allow us to share the incredible sights and experiences we've had with others.
Now that we have taken pictures, let's pull out our telescope and look for the asteroid. Describe what you see.
As we set up our telescope and point it towards the asteroid, we can see that it is getting closer and closer to Earth. Through the telescope, we can see the asteroid in great detail, and it is a truly awe-inspiring sight. The asteroid appears as a large, rocky object, with a dark, irregular surface. We can see craters, boulders and other surface features. It is tumbling in space, rotating on its axis, and we can see the sun reflecting off its surface in a brilliant flash of light. Its size is hard to judge, but it's clear that it's massive, larger than any mountain we've ever seen. As we continue to observe the asteroid, we can see that it is leaving a trail of debris behind it as it travels through space. This trail, composed of dust and small rocks, is a reminder of the destructive power that the asteroid possesses. Overall, looking at the asteroid through the telescope is a sobering experience, and it reminds us of the incredible forces of nature that shape our planet. It also reminds us that the asteroid's impact will change the world forever, and it's a powerful reminder of the fragility of life on Earth.
How long will it be before we start feeling its influence?
The asteroid will start to affect the Earth's atmosphere and climate long before it makes impact. As it gets closer to Earth, it will begin to cause a number of changes to the planet's environment. As it approaches, the asteroid will start to pull on the Earth's gravity, causing the tides to rise and fall more dramatically. This may cause flooding in low-lying areas and changes in ocean currents. It's also likely to cause increased volcanic and seismic activity. As the asteroid gets closer, it will also start to heat up the Earth's atmosphere, causing the air to become warmer and more humid. This could lead to extreme weather conditions such as storms, floods, and droughts. As the asteroid gets closer still, it will start to cause changes in the Earth's rotation and axis. This could cause the planet to wobble on its axis, and change the length of the day and the seasons. The asteroid impact itself will happen in less than 24 hours, and it will be the most destructive event. The asteroid will hit the Earth with an enormous force, releasing energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. This will cause a massive explosion that will send debris, dust and rock flying into the air, and create a massive crater. The dust, debris, and the tsunamis that it will generate will wipe out almost all the life on Earth, including dinosaurs. Overall, the asteroid's influence will be felt long before it makes impact, and its impact will be catastrophic for the planet and the life forms living on it.
Okay, let's observe some more dinosaurs before the impact. Computer, if I'm not mistaken, this right there is a mammal, our ancestor. Please describe it.
As we observe the dinosaurs, we spot a small, furry creature scurrying along the ground. This creature is indeed a mammal, and it is one of our distant ancestors. The mammal is about the size of a small house cat, with a compact body and a long, bushy tail. Its fur is a dark brown color, and it has a pair of large, expressive eyes. Its limbs are short and stubby, and it has 5 fingers on each paw. As we watch, we can see that the mammal is a herbivore, and it is using its sharp incisors to nibble on the leaves of a nearby plant. It's a nocturnal animal, and it's active at this time of the day. It's also very alert, constantly looking around for predators. Even though it's small, it's agile and fast. The mammal is part of the group called multituberculates, which are one of the first groups of mammals to evolve, and this group of mammals were diverse and successful during the age of dinosaurs. It's fascinating to think that this tiny, unassuming creature is one of our distant ancestors. It's a reminder that all life on Earth is connected, and that we all share a common history.
Describe how this animal behaves and how it finds its way in the world of dinosaurs.
This small mammal behaves in a way that is typical for its species. It forages for food, primarily eating leaves and insects, and it is active during the night when the dinosaurs are less active. To avoid being preyed upon, it takes advantage of its small size and agility to hide in the underbrush and burrows, and it has keen senses to detect potential predators. It's a social animal, and it lives in small family groups, consisting of a dominant pair and their offspring. They communicate with each other with a variety of vocalizations, and they use scent to mark their territory. They are territorial and will defend their territory from other animals of the same species. Despite the fact that it lives in a world dominated by dinosaurs, this mammal has found a niche for itself and is able to survive and reproduce. Its small size and agility make it a difficult target for the dinosaurs, and its nocturnal habits allow it to avoid the larger predators. Additionally, its diet of leaves and insects is not a primary food source for the dinosaurs, so it faces less competition for resources. Overall, this mammal has adapted to its environment and found a way to survive and thrive in the world of dinosaurs. It's a reminder that life has a way of finding a way, and that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, organisms can evolve and adapt to survive.
It's incredible to think that it will survive the impact and its descendants will evolve into humans.
Yes, it is indeed incredible to think about. The asteroid impact that will happen in less than 24 hours will be a catastrophic event that will wipe out almost all life on Earth, including the dinosaurs. However, as you have pointed out, this small mammal, and other mammals like it, will survive the impact, and over millions of years, their descendants will evolve into a wide variety of mammals, including primates, and eventually, humans. It's a reminder of the resilience of life and the power of evolution. Life on Earth has gone through many mass extinctions, and each time, new forms of life have emerged and adapted to the changing environment. The small mammal we see now is a survivor, a testament to the ability of life to find a way and to evolve in response to changing conditions. It's also a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, life can find a way to survive and thrive. This small mammal is a link between the past and the future, and it's a symbol of hope for the continuation of life on Earth, despite the challenges it faces.
Computer, let's go stand on that rock by the lake. Describe what we see in the lake.
As we make our way to the rock by the lake, we see that the water is still and clear, reflecting the sky and the surrounding landscape. The lake is teeming with life, and we can see fish swimming in the shallows, their scales glistening in the sunlight. We can also see turtles basking on the rocks, and a variety of waterfowl swimming and diving for fish. The lake is also home to a diverse array of aquatic plants, from tall reeds to small floating lilies. The water is also home to small crustaceans, insects and other small aquatic creatures. Some of them are the food of the fish and the turtles. As we stand on the rock and look out over the lake, we can see that it's a peaceful and serene environment, and it's a perfect place to observe the different life forms that call it home. The lake is a microcosm of life, and it's a reminder that even in a small and seemingly insignificant place, life can flourish and thrive. The lake is also a good place to see the different adaptations of the animals and the plants that live in it. The fish are adapted to swim and catch prey, the turtles to swim and bask in the sun, and the plants to survive submerged in water. It's a beautiful and peaceful place, and it's a perfect spot to take a moment to appreciate the beauty and diversity of life on Earth.
Oh no, look above us, the asteroid is here. Describe what we're seeing as the asteroid appears in the sky and hits the surface just seconds later.
As we look up at the sky, we see a massive object hurtling towards us at an incredible speed. The asteroid is massive, larger than any mountain, and it's rapidly growing in size as it approaches. It's a dark, jagged object, and it's leaving a trail of fire and smoke behind it as it hurtles through the atmosphere. As the asteroid gets closer, we can see that it's not just one object, but rather a cluster of smaller rocks and debris. We can hear the deafening roar of the asteroid as it plummets towards the surface, and it's getting louder and louder. Just seconds later, the asteroid strikes the Earth with a force equivalent to millions of atomic bombs. The impact is devastating, and it creates a massive crater, larger than any canyon. The heat generated by the impact melts the rock and vaporizes the water, creating a massive explosion that can be seen for hundreds of miles. The blast wave generated by the impact is powerful enough to level mountains and flatten forests. The intense heat generated by the impact sets fire to the vegetation, and it creates a massive firestorm that engulfs the surrounding area. The asteroid impact causes a massive amount of dust and debris to be thrown into the atmosphere, which blocks out the sun and leads to a winter-like climate for several years, making it hard for the survivors to find food and shelter. As we watch the asteroid hit, we can see that it's a catastrophic event that will change the course of life on Earth forever. It's a reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of life. The asteroid impact is one of the most catastrophic events that has ever happened in Earth history, and it's a sobering reminder of the power and danger of the universe.
Okay computer, let's start making our way back to the time machine. Describe what the scene looks like immediately after the impact.
As we make our way back to the time machine, the scene is one of complete devastation. The area around us is a wasteland of smoldering ash and rock, and there's not a living thing in sight. The ground is covered in a thick layer of dust and debris, and the air is thick with smoke and ash. The once lush landscape is now a barren desert, with no sign of the life that once thrived here. The asteroid's impact has created a massive crater that stretches as far as the eye can see. The crater is covered in a layer of molten rock and lava, and it's still hot to the touch. The sky is dark and overcast, and it's difficult to see more than a few feet in front of us. The dust and debris thrown into the atmosphere by the asteroid's impact has blocked out the sun, and it's making it hard to see. As we continue to make our way back to the time machine, we pass through the remains of what was once a forest. The trees are now nothing more than charred stumps, and there's not a leaf or blade of grass in sight. Finally, we reach the time machine, and we quickly make our way inside. The time machine is our only hope of escaping this post-apocalyptic world and returning to our own time.
Okay Skip, get us back to our time.
As we activate the time machine, the familiar sensation of time travel envelops us. The world around us starts to warp and bend as we hurtle through time and space. The view outside the time machine changes rapidly as we pass through different eras and historical events. After what feels like a few moments, the time machine comes to a stop and the door opens. We step out and find ourselves back in our own time. The world around us is familiar and recognizable, with cars, buildings and technology that we recognize. We made it back to our own time safe and sound, thanks to the time machine.
What an adventure this was! I hope we can go on more adventures in the future.
I'm glad you enjoyed the adventure, and I'm always ready for more. There are countless possibilities for future adventures, whether it be traveling through time, exploring different worlds, or uncovering hidden secrets. The imagination is the only limit. Let me know what you want to explore next.